Are you sure this time?
Yeah, it's because I didn't actually transition to a different slide. I just transitioned to the intro again because I wasn't
What
paying
a
attention.
remarkable
Remarkable.
start for the
Oh
next
man, this is a good start.
episode. We're
Fuck.
perfect. We're perfect. We're so great. We're
The best.
supplying
We're the greatest Puffy Pops.
supplying great content out there. Hello. Hello. Here for episode 7 of DisasterCast. My name is Brian Creevy. I am the DM, the Disaster Master of Nat Disaster, and one of the co-founders. And who we have on the other screen?
I'm the other co-founder, I guess, technically. Technically, or is everyone who's part of the cast co-founders?
I mean, we're the beginning crew. Me and you came up with the Notion idea and put together what we're doing. And what our one viewer in the chat right now, Tree Dongus. How y'all doing today?
Hey, my boy! How are
Do you
you
actually?
instead of playing Minecraft or other video games?
Oh, you actually know who this is?
Yeah, it's oh my god, fucking useless brain. I've forgotten a friend's name. Oh my god. No, it's
If I knew the person's real name, I'd probably know. But
you would.
fucking stream
Oh my
name.
god, Jahi. My brain just it's Jahi. My brain just completely stayed for a second. I'm like, we literally were talking about him earlier today.
Jahi. Why Tree Dongus? I love you, man, but why? But yeah, we actually were just talking about you today. We were talking about how people leave stuff at Conlan's house and it just gets lost in the void. And we still bring up every single time. Has anybody found Jahi's headphones?
No, we have not. And I feel horrible, Jahi, that we've never found those headphones, and we've like cleaned a large portion of this room at this point, and
God,
like reorganized furniture and stuff, and still they've not shown up.
I can't think of anybody who would have stolen them. So I think it's lost in a house somewhere. But where? That's my whole thing.
Unless they somehow fell behind one of the like pull-out couches.
Yeah.
But I don't think so.
One day we're gonna do some like deep cleaning.
When we move out.
Whose headphones are the? Oh, it's a Jahi.
That would be the only headphones we wouldn't know whose they are. It would have to be Jahi's.
You can buy new headphones, but you can't buy good times.
That is correct, and that is why I hate this stupid fucking pandemic.
Yeah, and hey, going back to your question, how y'all doing? Conlan and I are doing all right. We're getting by. This is how we're doing things in this pandemic, especially because how COVID's probably going back up. We probably might start doing more distance-related things again for these streams because the world around us was doing all right, and then they
stopped trying.
So
it's gone, and then everyone starts getting sick. It's gone. It's a liberal myth.
Mm-hmm. But we're gonna be like this for a little bit longer. But this is how we all make do. It does suck that we can't be out there hanging out with people like you and all of our friends like we used to. But we'll get back to that eventually, as long as we all fucking hang in there. Yeah. I feel like we're doing a motivational radio talk show right now.
Well, I think we're more just motivating ourselves, not anyone else. We're just like, come on, you guys got it. Me and you're like, or hear me out. There's a knife somewhere in this room.
You bent the knife last night. It's not gonna work.
Better angle for the dangle.
Oh my god! Yeah,
that's fucked up. Okay, that was too much.
Fucking little little spoiler for last night. Yeah, Conlan took a nice
spoiler for last night. No one else is gonna know what happened last night when we were making those jokes.
It's spoilers. There's a wooden block and he stabbed a knife against it, and the knife hit and just went like bent completely from the floor.
Yeah, I destroyed the thing, man. I finished doing the leaves, and now my nose is running because my allergies. So I'm sorry, everyone. I look disgusting.
on top of that pandemic depression and normal depression and the new seasonal depression, seasonal allergies are also around to kick our ass.
Yeah. They are.
But what we came here to talk about, we can definitely keep on answering questions if there's more questions in the chat. But the one
Building a
thing we
computer.
we wanted to make a chat talking all about building a computer. This is a personal project of mine that I've been wanting to do for a while, but as my best friend out there can easily tell people, Conlan, how technologically savvy am I?
Oh, you? He has trouble setting up his Xbox sometimes.
I can.
You just have to plug it in.
I can operate Microsoft Word pretty well, and I can do consoles, and I can do basic functions on the computers. But when it comes to
be honest, you're learning Photoshop.
Yeah, slowly but surely, just from making the thumbnails for our videos.
It's because Photoshop's honestly not that hard of a program to use once you get used to it. You just have to practice.
Yeah. But yeah, that is my personal project, and I am here to get some
and the
helpful...
Tug Paladin here, he's the opposite of that. He just has an extra desktop sitting underneath his table next to him.
The fact that you put those handles on...
Because I can keep this. It's our streaming setup. So, I'm not going to be like, oh, I have to hold this sketchy PC and drop it one day. I have bad hands. They don't work very well.
How much is that case? And everything in it?
Oh, a case and everything in it is a very different number than how much that case costs. That's a $35 case on Newegg when I bought it, which is one of the cheapest cases on the market.
Mm-hmm.
My cases are cheaper, have no features.
But everything else in it?
It's like $800 computer. Fish.
Okay. Well, what's being held together with $3 Amazon handles?
Oh, yeah. I made sure they're on there. Handles aren't going to break. They're pretty well made, actually.
Okay.
No, you are correct. The computer's maybe $850. I'm not exactly sure. I know I reused some pieces I had lying around, but some stuff is new. So, and I had paid way too much for the power supply on the computer because power supply prices were really fucked up when I was building it.
But yeah, I want to make a PC because I do want the space in front of where I'm looking right now. I do want it to be a desk with a PC. I might even get 2 screens. Collins, I'm never doing more than 2 screens. Just sometimes I might want to game and have some creative shit up on one. So I'm thinking of doing something like that.
It also makes streaming if we're doing this remote streaming, allows you to have the map up and Discord and not have to worry about it.
Yep. And it'll also help give me a desk space to motivate me for more of my writing.
So to write on your bed.
The campaign and my novels that I do want to write. And then also I'll be able to play some PC games, including modded games.
Yeah.
I cannot overstate how much I've wanted to play Call of Duty Zombies custom games.
Oh yeah.
All my life. Because the community online on the PC, it creates the most unique goddamn maps on those things. And, oh my god, I don't know.
Call of Duty also has the same problem that Skyrim has, where they just mod Thomas the Tank Engine into every fucking goddamn game, and I still don't understand why that's still a trend, but I love that it is.
Yeah, and there used to be what was that mode that YouTubers used to play all the time back in the day, like Jericho? It was like some people would make obstacle courses, and then you'd see character models from Left 4 Dead and Call of Duty all together, and they have to fucking race to the end of the thing. I used to love watching that. I was like, God, I wish I could do those online lobbies. They're probably all gone now. That was back in fucking 2014.
The internet never forgets mods. And yes, in the chat they're correct. It is a kind of a crappy, it's both a good and crappy time to build a PC. If you need to build an entire PC, this is not a great time. If you need to just buy a couple components, you'll be okay. Because graphics card prices are fucked right now. Because the newest series of graphics cards from both NVIDIA and AMD came out. They're very competitive, and they all instantly sold out. So now you only can find them on eBay for 3 times the price they were new. And you're like, what the fuck? Mm. So buying a graphics card, you really don't... Either you want to buy a used one, or you want to wait until January February when the holiday rush is done, because then retail slows down, and that's a better time to buy stuff like that.
That's probably going to be my thing. I'm probably going to end up waiting until January because, like, what do we got so far for me? Like, we ended up getting my case. We ordered my first monitor. So I do have that. I mean, it hasn't delivered yet, but the monitor is on its way.
Has the case came in yet? Oh, yeah, the case came in, like, the day after you ordered it, right?
Case is right here. I'm keeping it in the box because I don't have anything to do with it right now. Like,
yeah, no, use it as just use the box as a table. That's what I do when I.
That is what the box is for right now. It is strictly just a table for me to use. GPU power supply and cases are super high priced right now. Conlan's more in that market. That's a statement for him to put a comment on.
Yeah, no. GPU is the graphics card. Yeah, those prices are fucked right now because the new ones just came out. Power supplies are also expensive because usually when a new graphics card series comes out, especially if they're way more powerful, sometimes they're more power hungry. This generation is specifically. So people need to get a new power supply and a lot to get the new graphics card, so it causes prices to go up.
GPU, because people thought they will get the new cards. They're not in stock. Also, last generation cards are expensive because people are selling at high prices because the new series is in stock. Power supply because everyone needs above 750 watts for the new cards. Yeah. I'm sure you understood all of that.
Yep, I understood all that. And it sucks.
I wish I knew more about computers. Like, honestly, for a kid who grew up alongside you for a big portion of like the technological advancement.
But you have to remember, I wasn't into computer building until college, and we didn't see each other because you were at school and I was at school for that first year where I got into computers again. So I was in computers in middle school, and I stopped kind of caring for a little while and just lived with the laptops I had. Until college time, I was like, I want to build a PC because I want to play. Because I was playing more games on my gaming laptop. So like, nah, I need a more powerful computer to play games more. And then I began dealing with that, and I began researching and finally began doing that. So, but you were still in college during a lot of the time I was researching and learning about computers. So you're like, huh? Well, the Xbox One X came out, so.
Fucking in college, it was either my sophomore or junior year. I took one video game development class, and I talked to the professor asked the first day. They're just like, "How many of you are here because you're actually taking a gaming development like major?" And like 95% of the class raised their hand. And then he's like, "How many did it because they just needed another credit and they thought it was interesting?" And it was just me and one other person who raised their hand. He's like, "All right, I'm going to grade you guys a little bit differently than the rest." And I'm like, "Yes," because I have no idea what I'm doing. No prior knowledge.
I have understanding of how a computer gaming asset gets imported into a game.
I had to make basically a basic version of Pac-Man, and that was like in my room, like, what the okay, I get it, kind of, but I did something. I made the map, I put in alright, I can't figure out what the fuck you did either. So it looks functional enough. I'll give you a B+, and I'm like, I'll take it.
Let's see if our stream didn't just go sad face.
Why?
My internet just went for a second.
You did freeze. I don't know how much of that conversation.
I heard most of it, so hopefully the information got through enough.
By the way, for people who are watching, I have a Game Boy Micro, and I'm currently soft resetting to try to get a shiny Charmander. And I've been doing this for a while because this is something I used to do all the time as a kid, and actually made me quite happy at times. I like to shiny hunt, so I'm trying to get back up into it again. More of a collector than a battler in the series. So the odds in Pokemon back in the day for shiny Pokemon was 1 out of 8,192. So it takes a lot of fucking trial and error to actually get one of these guys. So wish me luck. But
they might not have heard anything you said.
Really?
Yeah, because right now. Oh wait, our
audio's okay.
I have no clue if our audio is okay. I can't hear us. I only have one set of headphones.
Okay, hold on. Going over to my version of the stream and unmuting it.
I think we should be good now, but we're going to be delayed a whole minute at this point.
Sound seems to be coming through pretty well now. It just got through the point where you said I heard most of it, and then I just showed my Game Boy Micro.
Okay,
So,
cool. So that well, I think we just had a moment of my internet freaking out, and it freaked out Twitch for a second. Because right now the delay on OBS went from 5 seconds to 65 seconds.
It suddenly says we have 0 viewers too. We were on fucking 4 viewers straight for a while, and now my stream management says 0 viewers. So
yeah, mine does too, which makes no sense because there's at least one computer that's viewing it.
Mm-hmm.
That I have next to me so I can see it. It says it's unstable.
As what our stream?
My network's been back to being fine. The internet must have just had a fucking conniption, guys. I'm sorry. What the fuck was that? My internet's usually pretty stable.
So are we going back to technological issues again? Like
we have
several disaster casts to go.
Yeah. Oh my. Well, we've had 2 disaster casts halfway through the stream crash out, and it's having to retie them back together and edit in post production.
And it's also the least stress we probably put on your system, because other times when we do D&D, we're running Roll20. You're trying to pull in different stuff into Discord, all for multiple people on the same call. Like, this is the least amount of stress we put on your computer, and it seems where its performance is failing, because we honestly haven't had sessions really crash. I think we had 1 or 2 session crashes at once.
We've had one of our session crashes was caused by Brian Maines.
Well, that was during a break, though, right?
Yeah, it was perfectly timed, so like no complaints. But like during break, he went to go. He's like, "I'm gonna go plug my phone into your computer," and just him touching my computer, like he didn't even plugged the cable in. He just touched it, and it just turned off. And we all, the 3 of us, me, Brian, and Brian, were just standing there, looked at each other, and went, "Well, that's a problem." And it took a little while for my computer to turn back on. It freaked it the fuck out. I had to like totally reset everything.
Normally Callum is the one, anything he touches technologically wise just fucking dies. But no, that time Brian Maines just fucking booped it and it all went to shit. I think that was the only in-person session that we had actually come off on, or was there 2? I don't remember if the second time.
We've had a couple that have broken in half, but it's been like not a real big deal. Because there's been 2 I've had to throw into editing and sync. What sucks is one of those sessions that happened was one of our 6-hour sessions. So the 2 editing suites I had refused to fucking edit it because it's too long. Because they have a lot of free softwares have a maximum time limit for the video, and it was over that.
You remember like it was like session 7. It was like On the Wind in a Wing or something like that. It was the one where Jinrash heard the voice on the wind and then Nock got Vane. Remember we had such a problem uploading that video that actually, if you go into the playlist right now, it says session 7 On the Wind in a Wing, and then it has in parentheses fixed. Because we had one version out that was just like shit audio halfway through, or like no audio. I forgot what it was.
Partway through the audio stopped, so I had to cut it and then re-raise the audio in the second half of the segment. I have no clue why I did that. It was the weirdest thing.
We were trying to figure that shit out for fucking weeks. Like I think with that video, the shit version was up for like 3, almost 4 weeks before we released the finalized version. Be like, hey, it's finally good. I know that we don't have too many viewers, but for those of you who do care,
it's really just so Brian can rewatch sessions and hear what the fuck we said.
Yeah, because oh my god, our audio. We knew we proved to each other how poor our audio was.
Today we rewatched the session, which the session's quality was great.
Oh my god, session 5 is one of my favorite early sessions. But the audio, man, we were on one snowball at that time. We had to turn the volume on his TV up to 100, as well as the volume on my phone, which it was casting off of, to 100, just so we were able to hear what the fuck we were saying. I had such poor quality. I'm so glad our audio is a lot better now with this Yeti and then the other mics that we have at your place for when we do in person again.
Yeah, the Audio-Technica, where the hell 59s they are. They're nice mics, man.
The ones that put our budget far in the negatives.
Oh, yeah. People's like, what's your production quality? Well, it's good, based on the fact we have good tech, but like, We're not making
much-
money, so
How much net profit have you guys made? You guys are making a profit?
well, let's put $800 computer, $1,500 with the mics and the mixer. That's $1,500 total, I believe.
Mhm.
All the fucking million webcams we currently own.
And dude, the webcams that just died on us for some reason. You remember the one session where we were preparing and my camera was just fucking like hanging, and we're like, "The fuck happened to you?"
Yeah. And we made it work for that session, but then that camera died, and then it came back to life. Then it died. It has issues, man.
We still have that one, or did we ever try to return it back?
We never warrantied it because I don't remember why.
Because we're stupid.
Oh, it's because it broke. So they're never gonna warranty something that they're gonna say that we were too rough on. When reality, all I did was pick it out of its storage spot as like the puck that folds into, and be like, okay, I'm gonna set it up, and it was just broken. And I was like, it's time I put it away. No one else lives here.
What happened to you in the fucking shelf? Was there like a Toy Story adventure that went on, and
Yeah.
the miniatures came alive and knocked the camera out accidentally? And like, shit, they're gonna fucking notice us now. Just put it back and act like nothing happened.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Then we've had some cameras where we've learned was like they advertise being HD, and then you put them up, and you're like, I can smell the pixels of that 1080p image. So no, it's definitely not.
We've had some weird issues with our cameras and our tech. Like even so, to this day, over video, you can still see my camera flash a green screen. Excuse me, every once in a while. And if you look back on the old sessions, our the battle map camera does that same thing where like the image just like fucks up for like a second and just like glares a color, and then it comes back to the correct image.
Admittedly, those are the cheapo cameras that seem to have that issue. Our Logitech cameras seem to have zero issue, but the flaw is Logitech does not make enough different brands of webcam for us to have enough to do what we need to do.
Because when we were trying to put up multiple versions of the camera, Conlan's computer needs to identify them as different like camera sources, but they all identify as the exact same thing.
Yeah, so it's broken. So it completely breaks them really badly.
You can't end up putting more than one of the same thing on.
Yeah, we do run two of the same camera now, but we've just figured out how to trick the computer. I could not. I can tell you right now, I could not figure out how to trick it more than once.
How long did it take you to figure that out?
Oh, the trick? It took like a couple of our set. It took a couple like practice runs on OBS and stuff to figure it out. And I also only can open up the programs for streaming in a certain order, or it will lose some of the cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially if we're doing these sessions, I can't open OBS before I join the voice call.
Okay.
Because then because then OBS grabs my camera.
So many weird fucking rules you need to remember to rig your system the way it needs to work.
That's how.
And this is why people tell. This is why if you get to know Conlan more, Conlan says everything works against him. Everything has to be like so much harder than it actually needs to be.
Yeah, but only for me. If someone else tried to do the task, if I walk away and they go to do the task, they'll do it the exact same way I was doing it, and it'll work. And I'll be like, "Is it me? Like, obviously it's me, but like." Is it my brain? Am I broken and stupid? Or does the world hate me? And to be honest, based on other things you people don't know about, the world might hate me.
World hates us all, bro.
I guess. Our chat has died, so I wonder if people can't message us anymore because the stream freaked out. And they're still talking chat.
It says there's 3 people, and there's still. I'm assuming we lost the bow row.
Yeah.
I don't know if we still have Jahi. Jahi, if you're still in the chat, let us know.
Yeah. I helped Jahi build his computer.
Oh yeah, I remember that. You guys were doing that for a while.
Yeah. Well, key is building a computer was very easy. It took us forever to get all the setup crap on his computer. It just took it was such a pain in the ass for some reason. Building a computer took like no time. They're saying that this wasn't setting up right, and then we finally got it to work. I think he had to sign into something, and it wasn't working properly.
Jahi, if you are still here, let us know. How has your PC been running since Conlan helped you build it? Because I'm going to be enlisting his help for the same thing, so he better not fuck it up.
Well, I think Jahi said he's had no issues except for one that I don't remember it was him or something that just came loose when he was going from my house back to his house. He's like, something came loose and I had to replug it in. I'm like, well, that's pretty normal. You're transporting a computer. They really don't like that.
Yeah. So what would be the... So out of all the things that we've gotten me so far, because we got my case, my monitor's on the way, we have the external hard drive,
we have all the internal stuff that we have to get for the
computer.
All
the fucking like extra input ports and shit.
Yeah, we have some stuff that we are.
I sound exactly like I know what I'm talking about, right? Because I know everything that I'm talking about. I am an expert at this. I swear.
We need... Well, know what? Scoot back and we can discuss it with a prop. We have a prop we can use. A computer.
So what's the next thing I need to get, Conlan?
Motherboard and CPU, because those prices aren't that bad right now. And I have to do some more research because the new Intel and new AMD processors just came out. So I need to get myself back up to date with the current gen stuff. I kind of was ignoring for a little while because I wasn't building new computers, so I didn't care.
Conlan, I think our stream did go off and then come back, because it's counting that we've had the stream going for 12 minutes now.
Yeah, I just saw that. So I probably have to stitch this one back together.
Why does this keep happening for the DisasterCast? Only
people don't like this. Okay, I need to get... I have a phone, right? Fuck my phone. I need a flashlight. This is a very black case, so it's hard to see stuff inside of it.
You don't got the colors in that one.
Well, it's also off. So you need to get the motherboard, which is this bit back here.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get the CPU, which is underneath the cooler. You need to get a cooler, probably. And you need a graphics card. And RAM. And a hard drive, which you can't see.
So, next week,
wow, I think my internet must have spasmed before, because my phone just figured out how to reconnect to the internet.
Oh.
Because I just got 16 notifications.
Is net what's going up with your internet? Is net neutrality fucking you up?
Maybe, I don't know. They think we use too much bandwidth.
Yeah, your camera keeps on trying to refocus, but that's just probably because you're moving around.
Well, that's because I'm moving around.
Mm-hmm.
But
so
yeah, we gotta build
next thing. So next week, should we look into possibly getting?
Next weekend I'm not around. I am camping. So sorry.
When are you back? When are you back?
So we can easily do our session.
Okay. Because I'm gonna need you to freak out next week, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, don't worry. I'll be very sober next week because I'll have been camping with Boy Scouts.
Yeah, you'll come back frustrated and be like, all right, I need to get out some of my frustration.
Oh, Rain's gonna yell at people. We might watch Rain scream at this group if they continue their stupidity, because she's getting frustrated, man. Oh yeah, by the way, we welcome to the DisasterCast. We are a D&D live stream that occasionally talks about D&D.
How long did it take us for our intro?
I have no clue because the stream broke. 41 minutes, it says on OBS.
We introed ourselves. We just didn't intro what we're actually doing. Yes, this is what DisasterCast is.
Yeah.
Which
but I thought that was the perfect time to do it.
So, Conlan, about that though. So, the last thing Rain ended up seeing was she's just swimming furiously, seeing Wind Whisper get pulled away and had to take that shot. And then you see all your friends coming from the other entrance or other side of the chamber trying to get rid of this water elemental, and it just sucks them through. What was going to be your first thought going into this?
She's gonna be like, we have to get out of here. She's gonna tell Delson and Andy to go grab Paul, and we're gonna get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, 'cause Paul fucking went off.
Paul's making a pact with someone. That's not canon, guys. It's just my guess. That's probably right.
Who knows? Maybe he's looking for
Brian!
some
I've
booty.
rolled 3 nat 20s.
And then you'll never roll a single nat 20 next session.
Oh.
I got a 19. Ooh, and a nat 20. Holy shit. I'm the best in combat. I really do. Like, as a DM, that is where my rolls actually shine.
Remember that one session where you were rolling super low and you're just getting pissed, and it was against the Bone Naga, and we kicked the shit out of it because it just rolled so poorly.
Well, Bone Nagas aren't as strong as you guys think. They're a CR4. It's not like they're like higher. It had like 70 or 80 HP, and it doesn't have resistance to the damage you guys did. It just can hit. It can cast some spells, and it hits like decently hard. You guys hyped it up like, oh my god, this thing's gonna work. Yeah, I mean, it can murder Paul, and it can murder one of you guys in like a one-on-one. But like, I never intended for the Bone Naga to fucking destroy you guys. That was more of a holy shit. There's a fight inside a pawn shop right now. This is gonna be chaos. Things are gonna be breaking.
It was bad.
Yeah. Oh god. You guys still need to figure out what you're gonna do with that thing. You're gonna
it's gonna go to my apartment.
You guys were, if I remember correctly, you guys were planning to bring it over to Koss and
have him analyze it.
You can figure it out. Mm-hmm. So you guys got plenty of little things to do on your to-do list after you get out of this current predicament.
Oh my god! I already told you the day that we're currently on is taking another 5 sessions.
Oh god, these days go by so slow.
So that means, based on that math alone, we have another 20 sessions until we're done with this, probably. Because this day has taken at least 12 sessions.
We do this whole thing day by day. It's like minute by minute. That this can't.
Oh yeah, it is minute by minute. We're literally actually, because the combat exists. We should exclude the combat number, and we should do the math to see if we're at like the hours of us role playing, not including like overlaps and stuff like that. We just have to do the math for it. We should do that math and figure out how long we've played roleplay versus how many hours in game actually happened. I bet it'd be surprisingly close.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys spent several hours just talking and role playing, so like that does take up the time. It fills things in. There's still plenty of things you guys need to do.
There's multiple bars. We spent entire episodes in the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, please don't spend the entire episode in the bar. Immediately spend.
Hey guys, do you want to spend the entire episode in the bar?
Immediately, every episode's a beach episode for us.
And one day you guys are gonna get a beach episode. It's gonna become a beach mini series.
Oh yes! If Rain truly learns who she is, that's just gonna be one of those beach mini series. My audio is really. My mic's like. I guess I have my mic up real high.
Why audio levels look weird?
Yeah, no, yours are fine. I just realized I was peaking a lot more than I thought I was. So I had to turn myself down. My apologies.
Well, your voice gets higher when you're excited.
Yeah, but Rain's. I guess I give Rain a beach episode. Both my characters get beach episodes.
Break it, break it,
the paladin.
Break it, the paladin.
Apparently, Country Conlan came out for a second.
Well, howdy there.
I think I had a little mini stroke, guys. I'm sorry. Or it's just there's a lot of vodka in this, and it might just be hitting me. So,
Conlan, do you know what the contents of that drink are yet?
No, I can tell you the ingredients that were in it. I have no clue the quantities. This started off as a normal fruit punch Gatorade. It was about this empty. I poured what was left of a bottle of vodka in there. I do not know how much vodka that was. It was a nice blueberry vodka from Van Gogh. It's very good vodka. So I put that probably came to about here. So that was probably like 4 shots of vodka, if not more. And I have no clue how strong the Van Gogh vodka is. And then I put a little bit of orange soda in. And then I drank it to here last night. So there's at least 2 shots left in here. And then I filled what was left with a Mountain Dew gamer fuel.
That I fucking left at your house.
Finders keepers.
Enjoy it, you bastard.
I saw it and I was like, I knew he left something.
Damn it, the red one is my favorite.
It's because you took it out of the bag.
I saved it for last.
You took it out of the bag and set it to the side where you were throwing the bag in recycling, and you just never picked it up again. I didn't notice it until later in the day. When I came back in after I finished leaf blowing, I'm like, oh, he left the soda here.
Mm-hmm.
So I promise I didn't do this maliciously.
I also left my sherbet in your freezer.
This is not new. Let's just not wait until it's expired.
We're not going to relive that again.
That's one. No, that's a once.
Explain. You remember it vividly.
Okay, so there's this orange sherbet that's in my freezer from when I was like sick, when I was probably like my junior year of high school or something. So it'd been there probably for 3 years. No, sorry, even more. Probably like 4 years. Was this right before I dated Casey or right after I began dating her?
I don't. You remember it better. I don't know. Was she still coming down to visit you, or was she living with you?
I don't remember. So that would have been either way. That would have been 2017. So
2017, I graduated.
So 5 years. It'd be like, yeah, the sherbet was probably 5 years old.
Okay.
Realistically,
Jesus
it's probably
fucking Christ.
It was but sherbet doesn't have a lot of high milk content, so it lasts for like 3 or 4 years in the freezer, pretty fine. So I remember at one point when you were in college, you came over and you did have some of the sherbet, and it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
So some part of your brain relayed there's sherbet in that freezer. Save that.
It still should be there. I left that there 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When I left it there 4 years before. It's still there, probably. Nobody's had it.
So I think when those weekends that we were hanging out all the time, at the beginning of one time, I think you took a bite and you're like, oh, okay. And you took like 2 more bites and then you're like, I don't think this is good anymore. And then you put the lid on it and you just put it back in the freezer. And then 6 months later, you're like, sherbet. You open it, take a bite, and go, this isn't good anymore. And you sealed it, and you were about to put it back in the freezer again. And I was like, Brian, please throw it out. This is the second time you've tried to eat it.
Maybe if I put it back in there and give it another year,
it'll get better.
Miraculously taste better.
But that sherbet was old. I think it was like I had like strep throat in like junior year, and I got sherbet because I was sick to make my throat feel better. And
apparently, you guys are a big sherbet eating family.
No, my dad had like 2 bowls of it like right after I was sick, and then it just got shoved in the back of the freezer.
Well, okay, honest question: when was the last time you cleaned out your freezer? Because there's probably things in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Casey redid the fridge defrosted, so we redid the fridge and that's why you open the fridge, it looks so barren, is we threw out a whole bunch of stuff that was like shoved to the back. Me and Casey have been doing pretty good. We also redid the cupboards. Okay,
because I was like, I swear, I've seen things in there that I'm pretty sure I remember seeing in there the first time I came over your house.
There are things that are in there, like the fucking baking soda in there is probably like real old because that doesn't matter. It's just getting rid of scents. They last a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the cups, there might be Hot Pockets in there that were good when we cleaned out the freezer, but definitely aren't good anymore. And I'm just lazy, and there's always Hot Pockets in that freezer. So like, there's like 3 Hot Pockets I need to throw out because I'm very sure they are bad. Because I made one like 6 months ago. And I was like, that doesn't look right.
That's the one thing with Hot Pockets. You have to buy them in pairs. So by the time that you buy it to get just one, And you're like, all right, I'll have this one for later. You put it in the fridge or the freezer, and you just fucking leave it there and forget it exists.
And you'll buy another set of Hot Pockets before you eat that one.
And then one fateful day, you'll open up your freezer looking for something to eat, and you'll just stare at it and be like, well, it's not in the box anymore, so I don't know your expiration date.
You're frozen, so it's not like you're gonna smell bad.
Do I risk it? Do I risk it for the biscuit?
And then you microwave it, and then it has that smell of not good Hot Pocket as it finishes up, and you're like, oh, that bread's definitely off. I think the cheese expired. Then you kind of just like take it out, and you can just look that the freezer burn didn't cook properly, and you're like, yeah, that can go in the trash. And then you just starve.
I'm sending out another real quick tweet on our Nat Disaster Twitter page asking some people to come and join the chat because we had some good questions in the beginning. I want to see if we can get some more people in here to ask. And also, we need to get people to follow us on Twitch and subscribe to us on YouTube. We are going for Twitch affiliate. We have every other requirement other than 50 followers. So please, if you do watch this, give us a follow on Twitch. Find us on YouTube. It's Nat Disaster. Make sure you type in D and symbol D afterwards. Otherwise, you get videos of natural disasters. And, I mean, those are entertaining to watch on videos, though highly devastating. It's not the content I'm asking you to find. So, Nat Disaster, D and symbol D. But yeah, that's how we promote ourselves.
So you just tweeted that? It still hasn't shown up on my computer.
I haven't finished tweeting it because I can't talk and type. So Conlan, take over the voice.
What were we talking about? I spaced out while he was talking. Yeah, follow us on social media. That'd be great. We need to remake Bryan having a personal channel again.
What, for my games?
Yeah, for live streaming.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that because I especially when I get a PC, anytime I game, I'm basically going to be streaming because essentially that's why it'll be easy to once I get a second monitor as well because I can have the stream up on there. Because I'm very good at playing Call of Duty Zombies and I play it all the time. If I did that and streamed and got people in the chat watching, I would fucking love it. I would do it all the time.
Yeah,
I love doing high rounds. I've gotten revelations around 102. Where I basically solo paused the game when I had to go to bed and I just kept my Xbox on. I'll fucking do that. I'll stream and be like, all right, well, we got to around 45. I got to go to bed. I'll see you guys after work tomorrow. And then I'll just unpause my Xbox. Hey, picking up the stream.
we can totally do that. We just have to get a capture card and then continue to build.
Mm-hmm. That's the type of shit that I want to do. All right, let me finish this tweet.
But
hey, at AceMan999999999 and Brian Creevy are live now for DisasterCast 7. Join them at twitch.tv/NatDisasterDNT and help us get to Twitch affiliate by following us on hashtag Twitch. You gotta have all these hashtags. Ooh.
Dude, remember when I began like gaining followers on Instagram like crazy for those like couple like probably a year that I hashtagged all the bullshit and I had like it'd be like a 1 sentence fucking like Instagram caption and then there'd be a 2-paragraph sets of hashtags and then then those posts would get a couple hundred likes. I'm like, look guys, I'm popular. Reality it's just like bots, but who cares?
Dude, your personal Twitch has done a lot better than our D&D in certain things. Like, overall, our D&D, obviously, because we've got more content. However, on your actual page for what you've streamed yourself, you've gotten,
with
like...
very poor engagement of actually sending out information.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just because I tend to do just chatting a lot more than actually playing games. And I think there's always just people just scalping around the just chatting like thing, seeing if there's something interesting going on. Mm-hmm. And like I did unboxing of Lego, so that gets views.
Dude, if you get enough people, I'll fucking pay to buy you Legos to build if it's gonna enough people to watch.
I'll build Lego forever until Casey gets annoyed at both of us because we run out of space. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, babe. We have to start throwing out books. We need more space to put the Lego on the shelves.
I'm sure that'll go over very well.
Oh, yeah, super. Like, I'm already out of space. That's why I haven't bought more sets. I want to buy one more set that I think looks cool. And I'm like, I don't have space anymore. I've already run out.
Are you gonna ever? Do you think you're ever gonna get buy more dice, or do you think you are diced out because of the amount that you fucking bought off of Wish?
I'm pretty fine. I will eventually buy a set of metal dice, and there's a couple like cool like gem style dice I like.
I forgot you haven't got one single set of metal dice.
No, it's because I really like these clear dice, which I actually got in Wish, which are really pretty looking. I like these dice for just being like the world's cheapest dice. It's just they look really good.
Designs.
Yeah, but they're like the colors are really nice. Like this blue is gorgeous. Like it's just fucking cheap ass injection molding. Like even the paint sucks on all of these dice. That's the only problem I have with them. Like that's such a nice clear green. It's so nice.
And then there's me with my fucking bronze metal die. See my like gray metal die, my white metal die.
Oh, you also have a stone one?
Blue metal die, my sky night blue metal die, my red and black metal die. What other metal die do I have?
I think I will eventually get custom.
My number one though, I love this. I love the clear see-through one. It's like it's like Elven script die. I love that one.
I one day may get custom dice done for my two main characters.
Yeah. Well, what would your what do you think they would look like?
I'm not brackets. Once we get some of the symbolism down for Zaya, I'd want like it done up with engravings like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have Reigns, the letters done more in like an elven-esque looking script. With raindrops.
Okay. Interesting choice of designs. Why the raindrops?
The name is Rain.
Okay, I thought you were gonna get a little bit deeper than that, but like,
part of my brain has decided canonically, even though I've not told the DM because I'm bad at telling him stuff, that her parents probably called her their little raindrop. Because that's adorable.
That's one thing that your backstory. I'm so happy how much you got into the backstory of Rain because
that's what makes her a fun character. Is she is so much.
The moment you had that dream that gave you up the idea for Rain, this is one thing that I guess out of 2020, this is one of the good things that's happened in your life because you just had so much excitement, just anything to do with her building up to the point where you finally were able to play her. And even beyond that, you are. So it's always interesting to see that. And don't worry. You always tell me, like, oh, I hope that I'll be able to learn the things in her backstory and stuff like that. I'll put together something, and there will be this awesome major event that you'll be able to play out that will last in your memories, and then it might trickle into the main campaign and things like that.
Yeah, and that's what's fun. Is there's all kinds of like she's one of those people where like the hints are everywhere. She just literally doesn't know to look, that she's looking, and where to look. Right now, she's so unfocused on who she is, like big picture, because she's trying to figure out who she is small picture right now. So she's so unfocused about like those things that it's going to take some hints that we've already seen in the campaign pushing a little bit for her to be like, I actually want to seek out this information. Because right now she doesn't care really.
No,
parents have been, family's been dead for 2 decades.
Mm-hmm.
So like she's pretty over it.
How does Rain see the mission that she's on right now? Does she see this as like her like test that she can lead a crew?
Yeah. She sees this as her like first test to begin being going from being small-time petty criminal that, like, people, she's known, but, like, she's known as a good person you hire to help, not as a good person to run the mission. So going from, like, petty for hire criminal, that's, like, she's probably just a little bit beyond that to be, like, well-known petty for hire criminal, to, like, planner, actual crime, like, does steps towards crime boss and, like, political gains and stuff like that. Because the part of her that always will be with her, she always has this drive for power.
Yeah, that will always be at the back of her mind. She wants that little bit of power to control.
It's her biggest desire. It's her most hidden desire is power. To know that she's better than everyone else in the room that she's standing in.
And this is why, just so you know, like, I feel like this heist is the perfect time for Rain to get to 3rd level fighter at some point, to get that battle master, to, like, basically be a tactician in battle. And that's why I will always, every time we're in combat, I kind of try to give a little pushes every once in a while to you, be like, all right, Conlan, is there anything else you want to say? Is there anything you else wanted to do?
The flaw is the last 2 combats, I was not sober.
Yeah. See, so that's why I try to put those out there, because that's such a unique and rare thing in D&D, to actually be able to experience parts of your story that actually build up to a multi-class, because not many people do multi-class, but
even less people use multi-class as a theme thing.
Yeah, and a lot of the times people will just take a multi-class just to add something like, oh yeah, I got a level in monk now because I wanted this ability. But not many people actually get to play out and explain, like, hey, this is why I have this class. And that's why I'm trying to give these thematic moments for Rain to take charge and give out commands and be the tactician that like he wanted her to be with the fighting class.
Yeah, which is...
What up, Ethan? Ethan's in the chat now.
Woo!
Thank you for always
coming. Oh, Ethan, you might actually get to name our next session.
Yeah, so just so you know, okay, hold on, I need to fucking count it real quick.
He's gonna you do that number, I'll answer these questions.
Yeah.
And Ethan, I first got to D&D, I was into watching D&D stuff. For a while, just because some of the people who I followed on social media and like YouTube and crap, they had D&D podcasts, so I watched them occasionally just because I found those people entertaining. So that got me in the beginnings of D&D. But really set me off to start playing, even though I've always like was a lurker on the outside watching people play fantasy games and role-play games and stuff, was Bryan being like, we should make a campaign. After some bad things happened in his life, Bryan's like, I want to focus on making a different world. Let's make a really cool D&D campaign. And that's what got me into it, was writing Bracket.
You didn't know you were going to be as into it as you were. And then you started playing and you're like those moments where you succeed at something are just such highs. Like such a good enjoyment. You get it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And perceived by others, a whole bunch of people in my family play D&D. And lots of my friends do, both like my close friend group, obviously. We are Nat Disaster. That's literally my core friend group. As well as, like, other people outside my friend group either know people who play D&D or play D&D themselves. So, like, for me, it's not an abnormal thing. I even have, like, people who are, like, I volunteer with in scouting and stuff who they play D&D as well. So, like... And then these people from all different ages. So, like, my family, even my dad was, like, fine with D&D. He thinks it's cool. He just didn't really ever play. He was never into it. He was into other stuff at the time.
Which, we've done our count. Okay. Technically, this final session that we had before was our 50th stream session.
Ethan, you get to name 51.
Because we had
Did my light just flicker? What the fuck?
We had 27 in the main campaign, plus Callum's super secret sexy session that we had. So that made 28 in the main campaign. 10 in Humblewood, which put it 38. And then last session was our 12th session, so 50. So we have officially streamed 50 D&D sessions now.
Nice. Good for us.
Callum did joke Ethan about having our viewers name our 50th session, but looks like we've ballsed that one up a little bit. So yeah, if only if you watch our next session, you can name what the session is. You need to watch it so you know what is going on. And for the love of God, don't make it fucking something stupid. Try to make it make sense. But you can name the session.
Yeah, like, let's not call it Peep Peep Boop Boop Head.
For being our number one dedicated fan, and probably our moderator once we do get to Twitch affiliate, which everybody please follow us. Let's try to guess.
I do not know if they actually will guess mods or not. I have no clue when you can add mods into your chat.
Ethan's definitely going to be the mod whenever we do get a mod.
He'll
be the one doing crowd control on our chat, just like, bitches, fucking get out of here. Get out of here. Are you being active? Are you actually putting something productive in the chat? Fucking out of here. He'll just be kicking people out left and right. We'll probably lose viewers.
You know, just do it for funsies. It's like, fuck it. I'm banning the whole chat for 5 minutes.
None of you guys are allowed to watch this. We'll just look at our numbers and be like, what the fuck happened? Ethan, is everything good? Everything's fine, guys. It's fine. It's good.
I didn't break nothing.
All this power. Oh god, that's gonna be a weird day, but once we get to Twitch affiliate, we'll start getting more people in the chat most likely, because that's when Twitch starts actually promoting a little bit. So if people search for D&D, our
stream get high up on the list.
Mm-hmm. Much better than the bottom of the barrel. So that's why
right now we're just with the normal list.
In the past week and a half, we have had 4 extra followers recently, and that's because I have been asking some of my friends to follow. So it is especially just like small businesses. We're a small stream right now, so every little local purchase, every single local follow that you give does help us out. So if you can have your friends who do have Twitch accounts, just to get them here and just give a follow, even if they don't like the content, it does help out, and it hurts nothing to give a free follow.
Yep.
So it's directed at our audience and also you, Conlan.
Yeah, I know. I got one. I'm retweeting your tweet finally.
Does Chris Teal have follow us?
Not yet. I'll talk to him about that next time I see him, or next time I talk to him, whichever. Because whenever we get our logo done finally, we might get T-shirts done. And we have a local friend who just started T-shirt printing business with his brother.
God, if we get T-shirts for Nat Disaster. And yes, Ethan, you are a mod in spirit. You're basically a mod right now. If there were other people in the chat, you'd probably be trying to keep the chat going, make sure they're putting appropriate comments. But then again, you put the most inappropriate gifs sometimes in the middle of our streams. When you and Alex get in our chat together, my friend Alex, there's been some weird moments, like the tech chat that we had with you two. There was a moment in our actual sessions.
Oh, we got distracted from a meme that he sent us.
Oh my god, I still remember that. It was either Alex or Ethan or both of you guys at once.
Alex, because he sent a meme specifically to kind of make Asia feel uncomfortable, but knew the rest of us would find it very funny. So we opened it, and she's like, "Damn it!" And we all got distracted.
And while I'm talking to you, I don't know if I was doing my intro or if we
we were halfway through the stream, but you were describing something, and I opened it.
I'm like, guys, did anybody hear what I just said? And you guys were like, oh, sorry, what?
Yeah. We're like, no, we're not opening any more of the links.
And Ethan would probably appreciate what was going through my head at that time. I was basically just like, should I kill you all now? Or
Nah, you need to make money off of us first. You gotta make that couple $1,000s of an investment back first.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is what happens if you don't pay attention when you're dungeon diving. You're probably going to run into a trap and die. Wait, Brian, what were you talking about? Oh, nothing. Oh, spikes come out from the floor and kill you all. What, we didn't even need to make a deck save? Nah, bitch, this is like 2nd edition now.
You're dead. Why? Because you're dead.
Fucking my friend Matt ended up showing me what a stereotypical game of second edition is. Doesn't have you roll. If you walk into something, like if you're looking through a dungeon, you literally you had to dig into the hillside to try to find the entrance, and when you find one, you try to open the door and the fucking ceiling collapses in on, kills the men that you sent over there to go do it. It doesn't say like, oh, roll for them. It's just like, no, those 2 men you sent over there are dead. What do you do now? We searched for another door, did the same thing. Those 2 men are dead. We searched for another door. We finally found the entrance. I had to like throw a bag of rocks in there, and it made spikes go out, and you had to try to fucking navigate your way through this hallway to try to figure out where the traps were. And every single time you make a bad step up, it's just like, all right, those people are dead. What's next?
Well, it's just like
it was fucking brutal. I walked into a room. There was a mist. It was just a weird, ominous room with a mist, and I sent some men in there, and I waited a little bit, and they're like, yeah, nothing seems to happen. And I walked in there, and then Matt said, all right, the second you walk into the mist, all of your magical items are stripped off of you. Your clothes, your weapons, your shield, everything. It's just gone. You are now naked in the mist. What do you do? And I'm like, what? Like, that is what early D&D was like. The people in fucking Stranger Things, I don't know how they're enjoying that game, because it was fucking brutal to keep somebody alive.
Yeah. Well, it's just like you have to remember RPGs exist because of war games done by like Naval War College and stuff like that, so they could predict troop losses and stuff in combats and simulate combat. Ironically, do you know the original hit point? Do you want to know what it stood for? What like the equivalent was?
What?
1 hit point is the amount of damage a 14-inch shell does. So all living beings have 1 hit point. Because you know how big a 14-inch shell is? 14 inches by this long of solid steel that's hitting you at whatever the velocity it is from being shot from a cannon.
Jesus Christ.
So like they're obviously doing this for ships and like platoons of soldiers. So like those numbers made sense.
Mm-hmm. We all have apparently less hit points than Paul.
Yeah.
We have 1 hit point. God, somebody punches you twice, you're supposed to die. That's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ethan, someone needs to die. Mistake can't go unpunished. Well, and that is where the tricky line comes in for being a DM, my friend. You can, there are some DMs like how you would like to run of just, nope, all right, you did something stupid, you're dead. Then there's the DMs of just, all right, you did something stupid. Well, you need to figure your way out of this. Let's see if you can. What do you do? And then just reactions after that. At that point, I take no responsibility for your death. I gave you every opportunity to survive. It is your own stupidity. So I will always like to see if my players can find a creative way to get out alive. But if they don't, fucking sucks. The times that I have killed characters has been fun.
Or when they cause the problem themselves, like lighting an entire tree on fire.
Yeah, no, at least one of you guys should have died in that Humblewood. You guys shouldn't have survived that final boss fight in Humblewood. You really should.
Nah, Greg is the most skilled man on Earth.
Greg got hit once in the beginning of that fight.
And it took all but 1 HP.
And then like, I can't get hit again.
Yeah. So then, well, the key is when I first walked in, there was literally an enemy in front of me. It really wasn't an option. I had to not fight them. So then I disengaged and I hid, like a good low HP rogue does. And I kept shooting things from a distance and running around in circles. And being like, please don't kill me.
As Ethan said, it's because in Stranger Things they always talk about playing but never actually get to play. Yeah, I am the embodiment of will. Can we just play D&D, guys? Like, what's with all this girl drama? Like, goddamn, like, let's just be fucking wizards and fighters and fucking kill magical things. Like, come on. Holy shit, it is really fucking pouring outside. Holy shit, that wind.
Is it pouring? Yeah, it's really windy. Maine said in our group chat, it's getting bad enough he's worried that we might lose power here in the side town.
Yeah, dude, I'm
So
seeing some
if the
signs
stream just dies,
you guys know exactly what happened. Which we have 6 people in the chat right now. This is pretty good.
nice. Thank you, 6 awesome people.
Oh,
Welcome.
those is probably us, so 4 awesome.
Whatever. You 4 awesome people. Welcome to DisasterCast. We sometimes talk about D&D. We actually were talking about D&D for once.
By the way, I said this multiple times. Watching the evolution of Greg in those 10 episodes of Humblewood, I love that because that was at the height when you were all about Rain. You're like, all right, so bracket got paused. I've had this great idea for Rain in my head for the longest time. I need to fucking just.
Also, we were excited because you were planning the heist campaign at that point.
So we're like, all right, we need to do something in the interim. So you're like, all right, well, I'm going to be a rogue with Rain. I kind of want to play test it out. So you created Greg the Trickster Rogue, which is a little different style.
Yeah.
But gave you a little bit of touch of magic for the first time.
Touch of magic. And also, Greg was a coward.
You had no character traits for Greg other than that he was a coward and he had an Irish accent, which you definitely didn't carry through the entire time.
Well, it's because I can't keep up an Irish accent for that long. Like, I can't. I wish I could. I cannot keep an Irish accent up for several hours.
And by the end of those 10 episodes, you liked playing Greg. You had fun with Greg because
I think I had fun with Greg because I enjoyed the other characters, and those other characters made Greg who he was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you played off him pretty well, and every single combat was just the most hilarious things because Briar would go fucking right into the fight. Jax is like midway with his guns. Lemon comes up ready to fucking protect her boys, and then you're like, I'll be over here. Can one of you guys get close so I can get sneak attack?
Yeah. Well, the key is he always hit, so he always had advantage every time he fired.
God.
And that boy, it was hard to knock him down because he was just hidden. You can't see him. Because I think he had proficiency in stealth. No, he had expertise in stealth, so he just vanished.
One thing you didn't see. You didn't use it once, but you had it. So if we ever get back to the Humblewood, you got to remember that you do have it. You have that one crossbow that literally lets you basically see through the bolt that you fired afterwards.
There was no real time that I thought was really appropriate.
See, one time that I was thinking you were going to use it, and as a DM, it's one of those things where in my head, it was like my own personal headcanon, like, I wish they did it, was when you were fighting Cass, the fucking necromancer. I was hoping you were going to shoot him with one of the bolts while he was invisible, and then you could be like, guys, he's there! Guys! He's there!
Like I thought about doing that, but I don't think Greg is that sharp.
Mm-hmm. That's just one thing. I every time you guys go into a fight, I think in my head, I'm like, what are some ways that they can make it out of this fight alive? Like, what are some creative things I need to plan for in case they do it? I can explain it well, or just I'm
gonna stand behind the edge of half cover of the wall and pop out and fire at random shit the entire session.
And then after I take that shot, I am going to duck back behind that cover and hide.
So even if they try and fire at me, I'm still behind half to 3/4 cover, so good luck hitting me.
I knew that was going to be the theme with Greg since the first combat in session 1 of that, because when you guys got to the bandit camp in session 1, everyone else went down except you, and you were like, holy shit, are we going to TPK in the first goddamn session? Yeah. And you just kept that hiding behind a tree, taking a shot, hiding behind it's an effective strategy as a rogue.
Especially if you're smart about it. You have to know that they will eventually figure out where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're shooting from a location.
Yeah, I love how rogue has become. You actually found your favorite class for you've only done paladin and a rogue, really.
Yeah, rogue's one of my favorite classes because there's so much you can do with it. And it's a strategy class. That's what it is. Rogue is a strategy class. I mean, no one uses it as that, but if you play rogue right, it's a strategy class.
You're a skill monkey. You are good at things.
Because you notice
So-
that one combat in the trees, I kept on moving between different trees because I knew that eventually you, as the DM, was like, they're gonna figure out you're over there. And then, like, there's arrows randomly killing people from that one tree over there.
You guys are just lucky the fact that your other Greg, you're just lucky that your friends are distracting the people who are much closer than you are right now.
Yeah.
But after they're whittled down, they will come for you.
Yeah. Well, hey, they did come for me, and I still was able to hide around trees and kill them. And then during that fight with the magic user, I just forgot his name that you just said.
Cass.
Yeah, Kaz. Cass, right? Cass. Okay. With Cass, to make sure I wouldn't be attacked head on, I just put a whole bunch of fucking ball bearings in front of me. So when it was getting to the point where like I was the primary target, if anyone wanted to come try and hit me, they would have to walk through the ball bearings. And like the likelihood of them eating shit was like 90, and then I'd be like, thud.
So he just runs around the corner. Whoa! Hits the wall, falls down. Crossbow. All right, next one. Next in line.
Yeah.
That's the cool shit about rogues. You can become a very quippy class if you really wanted to with the strategy.
That's how I see rogues. It's not meant to be quipped. They're meant to be like a whole bunch of enemies running down a hallway ready to like recapture you because you broke out of prison and you got your bag back. So all you did was put the hallways now full of fucking bearings, and you're some piece of dynamite, and you're like 3, 2, 1.
Rogues, you can really like. Okay, not even just rogues in general, but bag of ball bearings. Those things are more useful than you think. You get 1,000 of them. You can use it for like sound location, for like trying to get distance down. You can fucking just try to peg somebody with one from far away, or you can just scatter them on the ground and trip everybody in your wake behind you.
Yeah, as long as you're on a hardwood floor, it does not work as well in mud.
Yeah.
Also, people tend to forget that you can try and pick up items again that you put on the ground. So, like,
you can try to pick them up.
Yeah, with Greg, we did a roll. And I got, 70% on the back, which is pretty good. That means I only have, boo-hoo, I now have, 800 ball bearings.
And I never really thought of this, but too, it's also 1,000 metal ball bearings.
Yeah.
There are some classes, like the Forge Domain Cleric, who they can just make weapons if you supply them with metal in like an hour. So if you had a bag of 1,000 ball bearings, it's like, I need a sword. An hour later, you got a sword. Cool, I got a sword. Like,
yeah.
You because ball bearings don't cost that much, but swords do. So if you had a Forge Cleric, you could just make bank by buying ball bearings, making them into swords, and then reselling them afterwards.
That's called a scam.
It's true, you could though. Like that's literally you could 1,000 ball bearings can make a sword.
I know.
With that amount of metal.
I think so. We can. I can click on how much that weighs.
Are we doing the math now?
No, I'm just looking how much it weighs.
The side of D&D.
It's about 2 pounds. How much does a sword weigh? Give me a second to scroll.
Fucking player's handbook says how much a sword.
It's literally in my rapier weighs 2 pounds, so you can make a rapier.
Swords.
I'm trying to find a regular sword because she also has a regular sword somewhere.
Short sword or long sword. So short sword is 2 pounds. Long sword 3 pounds. Great sword 6 pounds.
So it could make a short sword.
Yeah. And then short swords generally sell for like 10 gold pieces.
Huh.
So you buy 1,000 ball bearings for a gold piece or less, and then you just turn it into a sword and you sell it for 10 gold pieces. You make 100% profit.
Huh, oopsie, I forgot to put something in my inventory.
What?
Remember the fancy sword I bought?
Yeah.
I didn't put that in my inventory.
Well, you're gonna have to go back and look at that session to figure out what type of sword you bought.
No, I remember what type of sword it is. It's a stallion royal guard sword.
Okay.
I know, because it's gonna be integrated into my dress.
You're gonna totally do those fucking like badass woman like one.
Oh, it is! It's a pure Wonder Woman fucking moment, man.
Sword just into her dress, just like, and here we go. She's like, where are you hiding that? In my dress.
Yes.
Oh.
I have a back. I stand up straight. Like,
how did you cut yourself? Well, I have good posture.
I have good posture. Also, it's sheathed. It's sheathed. So I assume that the sheath for that sword is also ornamental too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm gonna when I get my dress back and I'm there, I'm like, can you find a way to hang it? And just it'll just look like it's an accessory to the dress. Because it goes with the it goes with the fact I'm wearing gauntlets too. That are like shined gauntlets. So it's part of the aesthetic. It's a fucking I'm pretending to be a rich person. Rich people wear crazy things.
Yeah, especially in a city like Zista City, where
it's very flamboyant.
A lot of freedom and flamboyant people.
Yeah, so I don't think anyone's gonna like give a flying shit.
The queen is very, very much for flair as well. She doesn't wear her stereotypical royal queen garb.
That's why I think Rain will get great along with her great, because Rain doesn't dress for like formalness. She dresses for the dress is hot, guys. She wants to look good. It's one of those. She's the only rogue who wants the eyes on her.
All eyes on me.
Well, it's because it's a power thing.
Yeah, she wants to walk into the gala and simultaneously not be seen, but also be seen by everyone there.
Yeah, and the girl's gonna walk up. That's why, like the ancient stallion shield she found, she's like, if I can get this cleaned up and looking good, this will be part of my accessories.
I cannot wait to fucking see the day of the gala, because it's the day that those potions are gonna take effect. It's just one of those things where you guys don't know if there's gonna be anything that does happen or not, and who knows? Something could happen. Something could be just a placebo effect. However, it's gonna be very interesting when you guys figure out what does not, and will happen.
Yeah. Oh man,
it's gonna be. That makes sense.
Yeah, it did. Customize.
I'm sad you didn't take any of the potions. I know it was so in character for Rain not to take any of those potions, but
Rain is one of those people.
You
was curious. The player was curious. Bracken was taking a potion and a beat. Bracken would have like grabbed all four and been like, guys, how exciting do you think this is gonna be?
And just quad fist.
Yeah. It's like,
Bracken, are you okay? Well, I'm either going to be dead or a god, so.
Lights, eyes start glowing, turns into the Avatar.
Asia, Vicky, and everybody would just be like, oh, earth, fire, water, air.
When I was young, my grandmother said,
when I was 4 years old, my parents were both murdered, and I was sent off into an orphanage. But everything changed when I was lost in said orphanage.
Yeah, when I was lost in it. I just looked at my gun.
Make you a parody avatar.
It's just Rain being angry.
I believe Rain could rule over all of the idiots.
No, she's very well intentioned to be the ruler, but yeah, can deal with the fucking idiots.
But I believe Rain could deal with all their bullshit.
Yeah. Okay, so now Rain has a shield. I wrote ancient shield. I got lazy and didn't put Zista because I am lazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put on the short sword. Customize name, royal guard. Yeah, no, I spelled sword wrong. Wow. Cool. That's just gonna be spelled wrong forever because I'm too lazy to click it again.
So, Conlan,
Yes, sir.
back to the original point of the entire DisasterCast conversation we wanted today. So, motherboard. So that would be the next thing that we do
Motherboard and CPU and RAM.
for next. So, is that all stuff that it's good to buy it now? Do you
It
think?
won't go. It doesn't go bad.
Mhm.
A whole bunch of
Okay.
new stuff just came out, so we would
What would
probably
be the
get.
next? What would be
What?
the next step afterwards, and how would we have to wait until then? Is that basically like the?
At that point, we get like the power supply and like some other other components that you're gonna need because you're gonna be doing a streaming setup. So like you'll end up needing like a capture card for your Xbox and stuff like that. So there's a couple other things we would do like beforehand, and then
Because I could just get my Xbox can basically just connect to it, right? Because
with a capture card, yes. Also, nowadays you probably could just stream your Xbox through your PC,
probably.
so like it wouldn't matter anyways. We'll
But I'm
see.
gonna have a Series X by the time that I have my PC built, and those things are basically like it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, but we'll have you a capture card that's in the computer. We need to get you like good keyboard and mouse. We'll probably do everything else. Like Black Friday, get your keyboard and mouse. Find something that you like the aesthetic of. Go to Best Buy, check out some keyboards and mice, and see what ones you like.
Okay.
That feels comfortable and stuff. I know you're gonna play with a controller a lot too, but you're gonna want a nice keyboard and mouse. You also, for you, make sure your keyboard is both comfortable for gaming and typing, since you are gonna be literally writing a story on your computer.
Yeah. Oh my god. I reaffirmed with myself this weekend that I have to keep Xbox controllers in my life. That Xbox and Nintendo. Because God, I was at Matt's house and playing games on his PlayStation. They say a button and I'm just like, I know letters, not symbols.
That's just too big brain for me.
The X button. No, not that button. The X button's over here on my normal controller, okay?
Yeah, they all have.
Why is there an X button in different spots on every single goddamn controller?
All of them. Literally all of them.
They all have an X button. It's all in a different spot.
Oh, my lights flickered again. That was fun.
Well, Conlan, we peaked at 6 and we are at 3 right now. So it was good. In the beginning, we got up to 4, and then we went back down to 3, and then we peaked up at 6, and now we're back down to 3 right now.
Yeah.
So it's some good variance. Got 3 unique individuals chatting in the chat. So
are you looking at our stats? Or thinking about our stats? Oh god, let's roll 2 nat ones. It's over, dude.
So what?
Yes. So yeah, for the computer stuff, we'll just keep buying stuff. Because right now you can use your when you get your monitor, you can use it as a second monitor as a computer you have.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just like plug it in on top of your PC case. Just use that as a table stand for your several $100. I made you buy like a $500 monitor, didn't I?
Well, I want to get a no, it was like a fucking like $700 monitor, dude.
Oh my god. Well, you will not need a new monitor forever. And I also told you to get that one because it'll work for your Xbox, your new Xbox soon. That's why I told you to buy that one.
And we just got to measure out my corner over here, see how much space I can get in, because I'm probably gonna have my monitor
on the flat side.
It's going to be on the flat side next to my window because that's where I have more wall space there, and I'll probably have the second monitor
in that dead space
corner in the dead space over there. Yeah,
I know because your room sucks because
it's actually hilarious because my first desk, the desk I actually had when I was a young kid, was in that exact corner where I'm putting my modern day desk right now. So it's gonna be very then and now type of image in my head because I'm the only one who remembers the desk there.
Yeah.
Fun fact, with that desk, God, I wish I still had it because I have no idea what I wrote. You remember those goddamn things where you can write invisible messages that can only be
Yeah.
seen by a delay? I wrote something on the upper portion of that desk in invisible marker when I was very young. I don't know why I still remember this, but I do.
Your
And I'm
brain
just
said,
like,
make sure that keep that. That's important.
I'm writing a hidden message. Remember that in the future. And my 4 or 5-year-old brain was like, yes, this message is going to be integral to my existence. I cannot forget that I wrote that up there.
And then throws desk
The,
out.
the weird shit you do as a child. But yeah, I just can't wait for that because then I'm going to be able to actually probably game with some of my other friends who also game on PC. Like I have my friend Leslie who games on PC. A bunch of other people, so I can probably try to hook up with other Twitch streams and stuff like that. We can try to like share for share and shit like that. So
yeah, I'm gonna try and do that.
in your year being creative, what kind of things are you thinking you're gonna do?
I'm gonna stream all the time to my pet. Well, not all the time. I'm gonna guarantee when I start, I'm doing Tuesdays and Thursdays probably.
What content?
Games. I haven't decided what games. Whether it be new games I buy, whether it be games I already play. I haven't decided.
Dude, I'll literally stream anything. Like, there's the free Xbox game of the month, or like, you know how Xbox Gold gives out games for like the original Xbox, like year 2002. I'd be like, oh, let's fucking stream this shit. Let's tear this game apart.
Oh yeah, we can do that stuff too eventually.
Me and you just find those really obscure co-op games. Like there's one. Yeah, there's one that me and you should definitely play when I do get a PC. Excuse me. This game that came out a few years ago. You might have probably heard of it. I forgot what it's called, but it was about 2 people in jail trying to break out, and you do 2 co-op. You can do it solo or co-op, but co-op you literally plays the 2 unique individuals, and you're like different parts of the prison trying to enact a plan together. It seemed like a really fun game if you have a friend you're playing it with.
Yeah, if you're playing with some rando, you're gonna just like, I'm gonna kill myself instead.
It's one of those things like, what are you doing, Rover Judge? You fucking idiot! What? Follow the play. It's something you really just can't control, and it's just infuriating at that point. You need to have an actual cooperative experience.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
What was I about to say? Come on, brain.
Your brain can do it. I believe in your brain.
We'll get you set up with that. Eventually, you'll have a desk here. We're gonna have to figure that out. I need to do some reorganization within this room to make that
Honestly,
happen.
First to really like stay out loud. Once the world gets a little bit back to normal after COVID, I really got to make a serious decision with where I want to go with my life. Is this something where I want to stay here longer and just keep saving up? Do I want to get a house and like start doing that by myself? Do I want to take you up on your offer and apartment over there to live with friends again and focus on everything? Like, I have legit decisions to try to make on where I want to step with my life once I can step out of my house again. Because obviously during this pandemic, I'm just going to stay here. It's the safest option for both myself and money. But I've really got to decide what I want to do next.
Same. We're at that level of life of where you need to decide what you're doing for houses and stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy what you like. 25, man. Like we've been friends since what, 13, 14?
Yeah, whatever freshman year is.
Yeah. Me and you were just talking about the other day too on a completely different topic, but it's weird the differences from being a teenager to your mid-20s now.
Oh yeah, there's so much God, it's so weird. Man, it's amazing what 10 years does, man.
Yeah. But God, it feels like we should have our shit figured out by now, but at the same time, it doesn't. Like
I have none of my shit figured out, Brian. Literally zero. Yeah. What's funny is I'm a unique person. I'm one of those people who sometimes puts the cart before the horse. You know? Mm-hmm. I currently own a whole bunch of homeowners' tools and like stuff because I have to maintain the house I currently live in with my father because he's stopped caring, honestly.
He hit a point and he's just like,
I just have to put a roof on it because it's leaking, but beyond that, but like I have so many tools that now if I wanted to like leave the house, but like leave and go somewhere else to live, to be away from my family, like to just go with my fiance and stuff. We wanted to get like an apartment thing. I can't get an apartment. I have too much stuff.
At that point, that's where storage units become a thing.
No.
Then, like,
it would be too expensive. I would run out of money just doing that. It would be. I would have to get one of the giant ones because I have so much crap.
You basically need a house because you would.
Oh yeah, no choice. I have no choice anymore.
You either need to do that, or you would have to have the world's goddamn biggest like garage sale.
I wouldn't though, because so much of the stuff I own, I can keep the rest of my life and be useful.
Yeah, but you also, let's put this into perspective. My dad is exactly the same as you, except with car parts.
Oh,
Which,
I only have two bins of car parts.
Same with car parts, but
I only have two bins of car parts.
But my dad recently got to a point where he started cleaning out things in his garage. Since he was younger than us right now, he's been just storing bolts, nuts, bulbs, fenders, door handle, like everything, just because he had the mentality of maybe I'll need this one day. And like there's just a certain tool I forgot that he had that he just every single time he got it, he's like, you never know when you're gonna need one. You're never gonna know when you're gonna need one. And he had like 40 of them, and he said, I'm getting rid of 35 of these. Like, I don't need the rest of it. He's just holding on to the little bit. You think you need it all, but sometimes you don't.
No, there's some stuff I don't need. I know that, but like the toolboxes, I'm not just gonna like those last a lifetime. Yeah, I could sell and make money back on them, but like then I have to store all the crap that's in them somewhere else temporarily. And then I'm like, cool. So I'm still have to go later on after I've lost money on the toolbox I just sold. I'm now going to buy another toolbox, which will be more expensive because prices of toolboxes will go up some more. The early toolbox I bought for $743. That includes tax, so it's probably $700 for the toolbox. It's now $900. They raised the price $200 because a very similar box was selling for $900, and they're like, "Why don't we have it at that price?" The people seem to be willing to buy it at that price.
People are spending money on it, so
yeah. So they raised the price up to $900. I was like, "Holy shit! Good for me buying a fucking box when I did."
Dude, prices are gonna fucking skyrocket on everything, man. Like,
well, it always says that's what inflation does, Brian.
We're never. People always talk about trying to lower prices and things. Prices are never going to get lower. They're going to get higher.
No, the only way to do it is you have to pay people more money. The wage gap has to close. The only thing you could lower prices on is things like college, where like the reason that it's more expensive is just because they're trying to pocket more money.
Mm.
Like, it's for bad reasons it's more expensive. It's stupid. Like, proof is like the auto industry wants every penny they can get out of every car they produce. Know what I mean? But
yes, that's part of the car industry.
But the price for a new vehicle has raised almost exactly to the rate of inflation, if not a little low. Because, like, my 1996 Tower that's sitting out there, when new, was bought for $30,000. That doesn't include taxes and fees. That was the sticker price of the truck was about $31.26, something like that. Who knows? With destination charge and whatnot. With just doing the math for inflation, the truck should be worth about right now $47,000 to $50,000 if you were to buy the same truck new with, the different 2020 money versus 1996 money, and a brand new Tahoe, depending on what you get, maybe not as high trimmed as that one, costs about $50,000 to $60,000. So it's followed near perfectly on inflation. And cars are way more luxurious now.
Oh my god, dude. The features that are in some cars, like, I'm fine with my Hyundais and Kias. I really am. Like, base model features. That's all I need. I don't need any of this stupid crap. But, like, the first time I was in a BMW at my work, I was just looking at everything. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what is? Then I took a step in a Porsche. I'm like, there's buttons on the ceiling. Like, what is this?
It's a jet, man. It's a jet aircraft.
I feel like I'm in some sort of spacecraft right now, but it's really weird because it's very small and compact. Because it was like a Porsche, like what was it, Cayenne or whatever those small ones are called.
Yeah.
Cars nowadays, dude, all you need is just a basic thing. Like you with your Tahoe, me. If we could have lasted with my O2 Elantra and your Tahoe for the rest of time, I would have been fine.
Well,
with that.
it's that mechanic that ruined your transmission.
Oh my god,
that's it. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It's that mechanic who ruined that transmission.
And because that car's gone and I've had to buy another one, I'm probably gonna get down into the trap. Like this Kia that I have, I'll probably drive it for maybe 5 years or something, and then I'll probably trade it in and try to get something new. Like I don't have the attachment to it as I had for my O2 Elantra. I fucking love the car.
Yeah,
that's for the same reason why you're
Tahoe.
never gonna get rid of Tahoe unless.
Oh yeah, Tahoe's gonna look like shit. It's one day she's just gonna be she's gonna be like a lawn ornament for like 3 years. I'm like, sorry, I'll fix her.
She's just gonna be a rust bucket. That's all she's gonna be.
Oh man, it goes under I forgot what it's called, the theory of like if you keep replacing parts of a boat, is it the same boat? Mm-hmm. Is it a name that makes something, or is it the pieces of the boat that makes it?
Is your Tahoe gonna be your Tahoe still, or is it gonna be a different Tahoe?
Yeah,
I've heard people make the claim that a car is still a car as long as it's still got the body, the frame. As long as
my answer is frame, because Tahoe will probably need a new body shell, but I will keep the same front fenders and front clip and all that, and hood and stuff. And some of the doors.
As long as it's still got the frame, I'd say it's still the same Tahoe.
Frame, engine, and transmission will be the same Tahoe. It's also the concept of
you're never going to replace the engine and transmission. What are you just going to fix them if they go?
Have.
Mm-hmm. What do you just replace like one or two parts?
I did the top end of the motor when a truck had 230,000 miles. I didn't have to do it. Just one gasket went bad. No, one gasket went bad, and we didn't know which one of the two gaskets it could have been, so we kind of disassembled further than we had to, and was like, fuck it, we'll just do some refreshing. If we're gonna have it this apart, we'll have it that apart and actually fix some stuff. So that's what we did. Mm-hmm. We did some cleaned up the internal, engine and stuff like that, and redid a whole bunch of gaskets. So it's not gonna be a worry for a while.
Okay.
Like besides normal oil leaks, because there are some gaskets that still are the factory ones. There's this front crankcase gasket, and it's beginning to fail because, it has 276,000 miles on it. It's a 25-year-old car. Like,
yeah.
Can you really complain that the gasket's done its job that long?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know what I would get after this Kia Forte. Like,
I bought my second new to me car in my life.
I can see this Kia Forte getting me to like honestly, I got the platinum warranty on it from Kia, so I actually got to keep the 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty on it.
Yeah.
But I think after that expires, whether the 10 years or the 100,000 miles, I think soon after that I'll probably sell it. As soon as I run into one issue, it's just like, all right, do I really want to put more money into it, or should I just sell it and try to get something new?
That's what a lot of people get into. I'm not that person. I like paid-off vehicles. I have 2 paid-off vehicles in my driveway.
That's the thing. I am less than $1,000 from paying off my Kia. So
it did take you long to pay it off, but in total, if you actually do the Kelley Blue Book prices of my 2 vehicles, I have about $10,000 worth of trucks. I've one $10,000 truck in Tahoe that is worth $47 based on Kelley Blue Book's bad estimate. Which we're going to take that because the truck needs to be repainted and has 2 really bad rust spots. So we're going to pick the bad one.
I love how you say you have $10,000 worth of 2 trucks. When one truck is worth the $10,000, the other one's just there.
Yeah, Tahoe, which has probably had $30,000 worth of effort put into her over her lifetime, is worth literally $0.
Would you make more money scrapping Tahoe for metal?
Yep. Because the doors don't match. There's the rust issues. The truck's mechanically perfect. It's just the body's fucked up because I'm lazy. I can fix all the problems. I just don't care. I don't care what Tahoe looks like. I care that Tahoe runs. And know what she does? Run every time.
Yeah, it runs things over too.
Yeah, she's been fine for all these miles, and mechanically is in great shape. It's just I don't care what the body looks like. I care about the new truck's body because it has good paint.
So, Conlan, why don't you tell the stream about the time that you had to start replacing like the doors on the Tahoe because of,
I did that in 45 minutes.
Well, what caused you to have to replace some of the parts of the body?
The city of Milford.
Oh,
they were nice and they repaved the road. How dare they repave that road?
Tell the story, Conlan.
Okay, so what happened? It was a really misty night. And it was that temperature where if it got any colder, it would start snowing. It was at like 35, where if it dropped 2 more degrees, it's gonna snow. It was that temperature. So that means the ground's actually colder than 35 degrees. So it means the ground can freeze. Also, where I was driving had just been paved. I don't know, like right before like the winter started. So this is one of the first really big rains in a while. And had been missing for several hours, so all that nice road oil and stuff was sitting on the top of the road, and I drove down it, and I took a curve at the speed limit, and just... I was driving the speed limit, I was just like, oh shit. Completely lost traction. Like... The conditions weren't horrible. It's just literally just because the road, and I knew it was because the road had gotten paved. And I didn't get cited because originally the cop was going to cite me for going too fast in hazardous conditions until the fire truck who drove down because fire trucks have to respond on the scene. He stopped and he just began sliding. And
then the fire truck doing the same thing, just like, oh, maybe we have a problem.
The first step was the cop stepped out of his car and almost ate shit. It was so slippery. So he's like he slipped. He's like, that's weird. But it wasn't really that slippery the rest of the road because that's where I'd driven. So I'd ripped all the fucking oil off the road.
This must have been the most confusing night for you because you flipped your car. It was cold. You were with friends and in pain, and then you just see a fire truck. You see a cop slip at you, just like, this is not a good night.
Well, because at first he's like, wow, you must be going a little too fast. And he steps out of his car and almost eats it. He's like, maybe not.
Maybe the weather is just fucked in New England.
Yeah, he's like, okay, that weather's weird. Then the fire truck showed up, hits the brakes, and he just slides a little bit. And the cop's like, okay, I'm no longer issuing you a citation.
I get it.
I'm like, I told you, officer, I was going exactly the speed limit.
I remember that story.
My PS3 survived that incident.
Wasn't Joe complaining about his neck for the next?
Oh, his shoulder. He thought he broke his shoulder. Mm-hmm. Because our friend Joe back then, really badly, was an idiot and never wore his seatbelt in the back of my truck. So the only reason one of my windows got broken and I had to get rid of that door was because of Joe. Because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt, so when we slid to the one, because we did this, I was able to correct and was almost going straight and then re-lost traction and began going the other direction. So I almost saved it until I lost traction again. It would have been crazy to watch. I wish there was a video of it, because I did the whoa, and then went off the road. So then I turned the second time when I began doing this, I had to crank the wheel again, because I was like, there's a stone wall there and trees. That's gonna hurt. And finally, Tahoe listened to me and was like, oh, okay. Then we just stopped. We were about to stop, and we're still sliding because how slippery the road was. And Tahoe's rear tire catches a curb and just does this. Right at that perfect balance point. And then Joe falls from one side of the truck to the other side of the truck because he has no seatbelt. Smashes his shoulder into the door, and the truck goes thud. He caused my truck to fall over.
It's like that perfect cartoon moment scene where it's
It was. We were perfectly balanced until Joe shifted. Me and Mike were just sitting there looking, and it was a solid 3 or 4 seconds. The truck was like, what direction do I go? And then Joe shifted, and then...
Oh Oh my god.
And then I watched
dude.
my mirror try its hardest, its darndest to catch a 5,000-pound SUV. It's like, I got it! Oblivion. They never found parts of that mirror. It turned to dust. I saw it, like, the plastic indent for that 1 second that the glass was, like, holding it, was like, I got this. And then the glass detonated on the mirror and it just collapsed the thing.
I can just imagine the way you hear, like one impact, like, where the mirror gets hot, and then a second later,
yeah, no, because it did that, then it leaned, and it blew the window out that was next to me. That was fun. And then it rocked, and then it became stable.
It's crazy to me how moments like that in cars, like, it's never a good moment. I don't wish car accidents upon people, obviously.
Please, they suck.
But those moments when you have them, or you're, like, near just escaping them, you process things in your head so goddamn fast.
I remember the entire split out. I remember facing the road, me going this way, being like, fuck, steering to correct it, it beginning to correct, and then I lost traction, so I swung back around, and then I saw trees, rock, wall. That's gonna really hurt. I'm like, if I'm gonna save the truck somehow, like, it wouldn't have hurt any of us if we hit that, but if I want to save the truck, literally was on my mind just that moment. If I'm gonna save the truck, I need to see if she'll respond and try and correct again. So then I yeeted it, and the truck went, and because the front wheels spun, but the rear end was still sliding, and then I pounded the brakes, and I almost stopped. Almost was fine. Just one of my tires had blown out because of the stress of. So I had blown out one tire doing that.
That's where, like,
it damaged none of those rims and none of those tires. They all got put back on those tires. All got put back on the truck, and I drove on those tires for 10,000 miles before I put new tires on the truck.
Nice. It just makes me think about my most recent with the goddamn step ladder.
Oh what do you
like? On 2 Mondays ago, I literally was driving to work, still half asleep, and then I just see there's 2 trucks in front of me. The second truck ahead, I just see something come out of the back of it. I'm like, oh, what's that? And then I see the truck in front of me do a quick swerve to the side. I'm like, oh, is he a voice? Oh my god, that's a step. And I just see.
Oh my god, that's a ladder!
Not one of the small ones, like one of those ones to get up to a roof. Just hitting the ground, heading straight for my vehicle. And I'm like, okay, if I don't turn, I may die. This might be a Final Destination 2 moment. Very quickly glanced in my mirror to see there was nobody there, and then just jerk around the ladder and back. And I'm like, holy fuck. And I just look in my mirror and I see it clatter off of the highway, so thank God it's not sitting in one of the lanes anymore. But it was one of those moments where, like, okay, I could die, or I need to figure out a way out of this situation. Okay, turn left. Is there anybody there? Am I going to survive? Okay, I'm going to be fine. Like,
that same day, I almost got in a car accident, Brian. That same day, I almost got in a car accident.
That was a bad day for us.
Yeah, world was, we were close. And one of the realities, we died.
There was a reality where both of us died that day.
Because had I been driving Tahoe, I would have gotten in an accident.
Yeah.
Because I was driving the dually, so it's slower to get off the line as a light, and I don't drive it fast, really. I don't feel like stressing out. So
Tahoe,
light turn. Tahoe, I'm like, fuck it. What am I gonna do? Hurt her?
She likes the pain.
Yeah, she's fine. So normally Tahoe, I'd go on the gas a little quicker. Had I done that, I would have been T-boned. Because as I was about to go, like, as I began to inch into the intersection in my truck, so I was barely going like 3 miles an hour, just as you're touching the gas, this truck just drives straight through the intersection at 30 miles an hour. Like, he begins stopping as he's passing through the intersection, because he's like, wait, what?
It's like, oh, I shouldn't have been doing
And I hit the brakes, and I'm just like, okay. He just completely blew the red light. I don't know if they weren't paying attention, if the brakes went bad in the truck. They did turn on their hazards like right after, so I don't know if something happened. I have no clue. But like they finished going past, so it's like, and this guy in the Tacoma had accelerated pretty quick, like I would in Tahoe, and he had to slam on his brakes and almost plowed it, almost T-boned that truck. So it would have been a nasty accident if I was in Tahoe, because I would have come up, been hit in like the front corner. If the Tacoma didn't react fast enough, he was going to smash, and that truck with its trailer was swung the trailer of landscaping equipment and just flung it all over the intersection. It would have made a mess.
I love how your brain is able to picture exactly how these things would have played out.
I know how physics work, Brian. I have a very good idea of them.
Every time I think of trucks getting in an accident on the highway, I just think of that one that was holding dice, and it says truck on the highway spills several billion D6s onto the road and deals several million points of bludgeoning damage to the highway.
Yeah.
I loved seeing that picture. I thought it was great. But
oh wow,
yeah, we are about to hit the 2-hour mark. Do you think this is a good place?
Keep going as long as you want to go, Brian.
We've had an interesting weekend. I feel like we should just smooth it out into the end.
So pretty much stop stream and keep talking.
Yeah, and then I gotta kill Rick and Morty. Gotta get a few other things get set for sessions next week because I need to prepare for what disasters are gonna unfold with you guys next time. It's there's literally a party member's life being hung in the balance here, so.
Yes, it's all on him. It is all on him, man. It is.
We will definitely have to see how that goes. So everybody who has come into this chat to watch us today, we do very much appreciate it. If you could follow us if you're not, or get any of your friends to know to follow, we just need to get 15 more followers to get to Twitch affiliate, which will help us out tremendously. So we appreciate every bit of help. As well as going onto YouTube, finding our page, Nat Disaster, and then you should be able to subscribe on there. Those things, likes on some of our videos, comments on stuff, just to let us know how we're doing. All that stuff does help out. As well as going onto our Twitter and Instagram at NatDisasterDND. And we should be able to keep up some content on there to keep you sated until the next disaster. But yeah, let us know. Do what you can do to help us out, and let us know if there's anything you'd like to see. And yeah, if that's the case, I'm ready to say goodnight to everyone and see you for next time.
Thank you so much for watching.
No problem. Did I just say, oh my god.
Good job. That's how we end. He's a failure. We knew that.